compared to say the
He found it. Found it.
So he's actually found a kapuasensis, which is, you know, it's not necessarily the job of this mission, but it's
like, it is true. It's not always the job as a plant. I mean, plant hunting is like, you want to find the plants, and it does make you feel better. But I think I'm just kind of drawing a line there that says that conservation, plant conservation, is not always about finding the species. It's about it's learning about the reality of that species survival. Hello everyone, welcome back. Now it's part 2 of Rewatching Me, where I'm going to be focusing, if you remember, on Phalaenopsis kapuasensis habitat. And if I have time for this part 2 video, I might segue into another expedition I was working on. Now, if you don't know me already, it's Botanical Otter, and I'm rewatching all my old documentation videos that I made for content or for my own work to come back and do research. And what I have just discovered in the last video is that my local teammate used a local name, and I totally completely did not understand that at the time, but later on I was able to identify the local name of that species. So this Phalaenopsis kapuasensis does have majority of the time of host tree, which is found in submerged forest. So let's get back and rewatch these videos again. Yeah, he's doing the wrong measurement, but okay. So the reason why, I'll be very clear, I'm uploading the next video. The reason why I didn't return to the same habitat and did exactly the same type of measurement is because, sadly, this species has been really over harvested, and it's not by habitat loss, which will be part of my eventual ICUN update as well in my own research publications. But it's quite clear that if you're working with very small populations, you do not need to put quadrants out. We do a very different method, which is basically this method will be going along the boat and counting, or if you're in the forest, to be walking. So I just switched to basically doing GPS on the boat, and I'm working out that we were in a 20 meter square.
Okay, so
because it's so time consuming by boat to do this. But I'm glad I did it, because it's a good way to show the team how the size of the measurements I need to do a proper quadrant. So what I mean by what we talk about, there's a rate of occurrence basically of a population size. So if you just count species that you can see, then you're not fully understanding its occurrence in that forest, because you need to go to a habitats where, it might be growing here, I'm counting 0. That is just good as research, because you're able to fully understand the population density in that habitat. But you can see from here the tree now properly, so you can see it's like part of that Myrtles family, just by the kind of the different types of like waxy leaves you've got here. Okay, he hadn't found it there. That's a lie. I thought he did. But you can see how low we're having to go underneath the canopy here, because obviously the water's high, and then like we have to go really.
So basically, this species is not necessarily in the open. It's more open sunlight. There is definitely more, has been
not necessarily true
shade for it compared to say the
he found it. Found it.
So he's actually found a kapuasensis, which is, you know, it's not necessarily the job of this mission, but it's always makes it more fun to do the assessment. But yeah, this is good.
I like how I said that. Like, it is true. It's not always the job as a plant. I mean, plant hunting is like, you want to find the plants, and it does make you feel better. But I think I'm just kind of drawing a line there that says that conservation, plant conservation, is not always about finding the species. It's about it's learning about the reality of that species survival. And by not finding it, it's just as impactful, because you're saying to everyone this species needs a lot more support and conservation concern.
Yeah, like, okay. This video, yeah? Is that okay? Okay, so, yeah?
He's so happy. I'm not surprised, because he worked on it. And to be honest, the more I worked on this species, the more happy I got with it as well. So think I'm also just tired. Like I don't realize how tiring this is. It's probably why I'm less enthusiastic. God, I could not stand. Yeah.
So
It's the same habitat we found Phalaenopsis capuensis. So he's saying it's a larger species. Phalaenopsis capuensis is not a big species. It's not like. Oh, I could see it. I'm not stupid. I'm telling my mate this video. 7 plants. Big plants, yeah. So they're not in flower, they haven't flowered yet. What is he recording? I have really fast forward. He's trying to find it.
No, and Lima. No. No. Lima is di luar. So yes.
No, 6 di luar.
Yeah.
No.
So now I'm basically getting out my pencils and writing the quadrant down.
Okay, Empire Lima. Okay.
5. Tu, zona 5.
Okay, yeah, okay. Benar, okay.
So we're moving around, and basically what I'm recording here is the zone of the tree it's in. So obviously 0 is the river, and then you've got 1, 2, inner crown is 3, middle crown is 4, and outer crown is 5. And then there's a 6th area, which I'll come on to another video. So essentially there's 7 zones I'm recording here, which is completely different to what's been researched before.
Sini, ya.
Sini.
I mean, it's really difficult, especially in a river environment, to work out what quadrant you're in, let alone walking through dense forest. So, like, it has its challenges. And that's why I recommend, if you just have a small population, don't necessarily do quadrants. Do it by eye. So basically what's happening here is Arul agreed to take a soil sample. Now at that point what I use the soil sample for is to check the NPK levels. So by a prime example, if there was higher rates of nitrogen in the soil profile, you could suggest that there was a threat because of like plantation runoff. So obviously he's should have told him there was crocodiles in there.
6 kali mandi.
It's going down.
Oh my god. Oh wow.
6 times basically shower, he's saying. And he's up again. There we are. There it is. There it is.
Bagos. Yeah.
Okay, so where is this video now? Okay, we're now doing reverse. We're picking up all the 6 now, so that's basically what we're doing there. And then we're like Kosong, go through it again. That's more of the same. Right.
Okay, so
let me show you something from the same period. So whilst my friend who is part of the same community was there, Gunawan was there, I want him to show all the methods I would be using as much as possible, the different habitats, so he would understand and he can help translate for me as well, because we had prior conversations and then the team whilst he was there could understand what was going on. So this actually is the nursery stock assessments. Oh, so I'm asking what forest originally came from. So I'm gonna fast forward this bit a little bit because it's obviously information that I can't be sharing publicly. Now you can see how high I am in this video because literally my cap is like literally near touching the top. I think I'm slightly hunched here. I think I always was. It's like Kapuensis I'm looking at. Yeah, you can see also I check so basically I'm checking so an identifiable characteristic of wild collection is going to be your like mosses and lynches growing on it and like other material. So yeah, but then again these are growing in the tropics, but they were very honest with me and said like I know these are wild collected. When you ask a reseller the same question, you really need to check, because a reseller can say, no, they're all propagated. And then you check the material and you're like, hang on a minute, why is there like lichens and mosses you would find in the forest on this? And I'm sure some of you collectors out there have found the same experience. So yeah, I'd love to hear more about that. And that is definitely a identifiable characteristic of something that's been wild collected. If something's had lots of fertilizer and it kind of creates more growth, then that's an identifiable characteristic that is not wild collected. He has a lot of plants actually. So I went back and did the thing again.
Putus bio, putus bio.
Kalau untuk pernah.
Yeah, Kapuana,
So I'm asking how many he sold already. So just to give you a background why I'm doing this. Now, most research out there, and someone may correct me, I might be wrong, is that they've only focused on the marketplaces. So we're talking about, for example, there's been great research has gone to Thailand and they've gone to the plant markets in like these towns, and then just a checking of like how many orchids there were, and then they might check the prices, and they might ask what, and they will check if it's wild collected. So I'm asking how many's been propagated. From what I understand, I'm the first person that's gone directly to the plant hunters, and I'm one myself, and asked them these questions: how much they're selling them for, how many they've sold, how many are in their collection, how many they propagate up, who they sell them to, because I'm literally focused on the upstream. And by comparing it to the forests and how many is in the forest, I'm able to get a real comprehensive assessment of the vulnerabilities of all these species, and really develop a supply chain from the forest to the plant hunters and to the resale market. So that is why I'm here doing it. And if anyone else is doing exactly the same thing as me, I'd love to hear from them, because I'd love to compare notes. I'm going to end it there. If you enjoyed part 1 and 2 of my first week or two in Kapuas, please comment down below. It will encourage me to make more of these videos where I'm recapping my explorations in the forest and on the rivers as well, and what I've been learning, and sharing that with you, how I do conservation and botany in the field, and some of the challenges that I face as being an explorer in these habitats. Also, please watch my other videos on YouTube and follow me on Instagram or TikTok if you haven't already. But until then, hope to see you again. Bye bye.